Hello, and hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are tuning in. This is the Melanated Air Hour. For the next hour, you get to be bedazzled and excited and entertained and educated about all things melanin from these three beautiful women. Over the next hour, we're going to be talking about things that are relative to Black people in life and or business. I don't do this by myself. I am Lene Javette. I also get to do this with the Real Teddy Talks, Miss Teddy Ewing coming to us live from Egypt, Miss Keisha Ravenel at We Inspire Brand, and myself. I already introduced myself. So this is the Melanated Air Hour today. What's up, Asha? I see B1 Grand Afternoon family. What's good with you? Thank you for tuning in. Today we're talking about coulda, woulda, shoulda. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Live my life better. Ooh wee. Are you getting in your own way with big dreams and small effort? As we start looking at 2022, we want to make sure that we are not self-sabotaging our goals, our life, our dreams, our vision. And so that's the conversation that we're going to be having today. This conversation came to us. I think who put this? Who posted the actual Teddy? Okay. So yeah. Teddy, I'm going to pull the image up on screen. Share this file. Oopsie, wrong. And talk to us about self-sabotage. What made you want to have this conversation?
Well, as we all do, I was scrolling through social media. I look through social media for ideas, business ideas, topics for us, topics in crypto, all kinds of stuff. And I have an echo. I'm sorry, guys. And I ran across this and I was like, ooh, I just started reading a few of the little bubbles. And I'm like, this could be a whole episode because I think everyone suffers from self-sabotage at some point in their life. And it could stem from you're really chasing after your goals 100 miles an hour and you never feel like you can reach them. It could be because you're trying to be someone else. You're trying to live someone else's life, live someone else's dream. It could be because you started off in life running fast and you didn't know which direction you were headed. And then life happens and it starts pulling you in different directions that you may not have consciously said, this is where I want to go. But it happens whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a person who's working, whether you're a stay-at-home parent, whatever it is you're doing, we are in control of our lives. But if we don't realize that, then that may lead us down a path we're not trying to go. So you have to stop and you have to evaluate. So I just love that graphic. I probably have been guilty of half of them, if not more, or all of them. And it's so funny because I was going through a little rut myself in the last couple of weeks where I just felt overwhelmed. I just felt like tired. It's like I was doing a lot, got a lot going on. And I just had to take a step back. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do what I need to do and no more than that. And that's okay. So I'm trying to get everyone to be in that place in their life where they can just do what they need to do and be okay.
You know what? That's so good. I'm literally trying to recreate this document so I can make it bigger so that the people in the audience can see it. Oh, I finally did. Okay, cool. So I'm going to read this to you guys so that you guys can see ways that we self-sabotage. Give me 1 second so that I can share it. And then if you guys in the audience, if you guys see something that you're like, yep, that's me, or something that you can relate to, I think it's
type it in the comments. Let us know that's you. Like that's me, because I could name about 20 of them. I'm telling you.
Me too. I'm like, that's me.
So these are the ways that people self-sabotage. You have constant procrastination, ignoring signs that you need a break, creating self-imposed rules that are too hard to follow, overcomplicating solutions to small problems, starting more projects than you can finish, not allowing yourself things unless you earn it, discouraging yourself before you even try, postponing things until the very last second. Ooh, Lord. Quitting when you run into any issue, saying yes when you don't want to, just to be liked. Oh, those are good.
These are all, I was like, this is a whole episode right
Yep.
here on this one little graphic for real.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
And I could think about times in my life where it was all of these, all of them, like constant procrastination. I've dealt with procrastination my entire life. Like, I remember being as young as like 7 years old, and like I would have like these projects, right? And then I would wait until the night before, and my mom would say, and I was always the kid that like no one had to help me with my homework and like things like that. But my mom would always say, like, why are you waiting until the last minute? Why didn't you tell me you had this project due? And for me, it was always, well, I always get good grades and I always wait till the last minute. So it works for me. So let me just do it. But now that I'm an adult and I have my own business and I depend on this business for income, I'm not depending on anything else for income. I can't be procrastinating. I'm like, oh no, let me do this.
There you go. You know, Keisha, I'm gonna let you say yours, but I want to say real quick. When I took that break, though, let me say this, like 2-3 weeks, I kind of pumped my brakes. I did less YouTube videos. I was less present on a lot of social media things I'm on, less grinding about all of my courses and stuff. That money didn't come in like it should. So it's like, it's a trade-off, right?
Mm-hmm.
My mental health and my emotional stability was very important to me. But as I'm looking at them budget balance sheets, it ain't balancing the way it normally does. But this is why we overdo it, right? So it's always a trade-off in life.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to pick what matters, take care of yourself, and do what's best for you at that time. Yes. So Lynette, tell me, which one are you? Tell me the one you are most guilty of most of the time. When you self-sabotage. Which one are you doing?
I was gonna go through them one by one, but if I had to pick the one I'm most guilty of,
I feel like I know.
Which one do you think?
I think you're gonna say ignoring signs that I need a break.
That should be it. That should be it. I was gonna choose. Damn, it's either constant procrastination, or ignoring signs that I need a break. Really that one probably should be it.
Yeah.
It's between those two, and postponing things to the very last second. I am in the 9th hour kind of a person.
Mm-hmm.
Launches, dissertations, stuff like that. Like, I know it has to get done, but if I sit down and I have too much time to do it, I cannot think. I cannot think when I have too much time. But if it's 5 hours before it's due, everything comes to me and I can knock it out. I don't know why my brain operates like that, where in the 9th hour, I got it. Boom. Yes. But if you give me too much time, I cannot come up with anything for myself. If it's for somebody else, I can. But when it's for me, I cannot focus enough until it's the 9th hour.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys? So what's yours, Teddy? What's your number one off the list?
Well, before I answer that, I was gonna say, do you think that's some kind of trauma or some kind of psychological reaction to something, like with the way you grew up or something you did when you were a kid? Because I wish there was a psychologist watching so they can tell us what that means because you saying you work at your best last minute, but that's not healthy, I don't think, right? Even if it's work, even if it's not failed you yet, I don't think it's healthy if you have more time to do it, right? But
so I want to say, I don't think this is the reason, right? But I was a psych major when I was in college. I am not a psychologist. I'm just saying, I studied a little bit. I studied a little bit and got a little degree. But I remember studying self-sabotage. So when this topic was brought up, I was like, ooh, I remember this like distinctly, like being in the classroom and my professor at the time saying a lot of people self-sabotage and they procrastinate because, and she used the example of an exam. You study at the last minute because you know that if you fail, it was because you studied at the last minute. Not that you didn't give yourself enough time to really study. So you create that excuse for yourself, like, oh, well, if I had more time to study, then I would have done good. But because I didn't study over time and it was last minute, that's why I didn't do good on the exam. But then on the other hand, if you do procrastinate and you do well, like me, that's what I was saying earlier.
I'm about to say, I do good.
And you do well, it's like, well, like that's what works for me. So I can procrastinate. So it's always an excuse, right? Like it's always an excuse when it comes to procrastination.
It's a catch-22 though, because I do operate well in the 9th hour. I do. But I always think to myself, if I do this good in the 9th hour, what can I do if I really apply myself and give myself more time? If I have a $25,000, yes, right? So if I have a $25,000 launch, I could have had a $50,000 launch.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If I got an A, I could, you know what I'm saying? So that's a good question, Teddy, because there might be something tied to it, but because I produce at that level, and I still produce at a high level and stuff is still good, I just be like, all right, I got it.
You got it.
But it leads to the other one of you don't know when you need a break, because if you're always running at 100 trying to meet these 9th hour deadlines or not quitting, not that one, or saying yes to so many things that cause you to operate quickly and fastly in the 9th hour. That can't be healthy.
Yeah, I read an article a while ago that talked about like the stress hormone, cortisol and all that, and how back in the day, I always do that, back in the day, like whether that's 20 years ago, before all of the advances in technology, right, where we're so reachable, we used to have time away. Like if you weren't at your desk, you missed the phone call. Before email, like I remember before internet, like honestly. So you missed it. If you're on your way home from work, you didn't have a cell phone. No one could call you. Like you'll get there when you get there. If somebody was coming to your house and they're in the neighborhood, they just stopped by, right? But now we're inundated with so much technology, phones, email, etc. And it's causing people to get more stressed and operate at a higher stress level, but it's not healthy. Just because we can do it don't mean it's right. You know what I'm saying? Like we shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
But the one I think I'm most guilty of, creating self-imposed rules that are too hard to follow. When we're talking about businesses and launches, I'm like, I remember when I was first starting my business, I created all these arbitrary rules that had to have been done before I could do X, Y, and Z. Like before I do my YouTube videos, I want to have 10 videos recorded and edited. Why? Why did I need to do that? I could have just done it as I went along. But I was like, I want to look this way and I want to be prepared and I want to get a head start, like whatever this self-imposed thing was, and it holds you back. Because if you think you have to have all these things, travel is a big one. I see people who don't travel because they're like, I need to have $10,000 before I can do something, or $5,000, or they just create these arbitrary, like, have you ever looked up how much it costs to go on the trip you want to go? Like, you don't need to make up these numbers, just find out how much it costs, estimate how much your food's going to be, have a little cushion, go do that thing. But we create boundaries that don't really exist. And then we start boxing ourselves into them, and it's for no reason.
Man. So if you're just joining us, today we're having a conversation on self-sabotaging. We're looking at some different reasons why people self-sabotage. I'll go back over them again for you in case you're just joining us. Constant procrastination is one of them. Ignoring signs that you need a break is another. Creating self-imposed rules that are too hard to follow. Overcomplicating solutions to small problems. Starting more projects than you can finish. Not allowing yourself things unless you have to earn them. Discouraging yourself before you even try, postponing things until the very last second, quitting when you run into any issue, or saying yes when you don't want to, just to be like. And I don't even think that just to be like has to be there. I think it's just saying yes when you don't want to do it, right?
Yeah, not setting those boundaries.
Self-sabotaging, in case you're not sure what it is. Self-sabotage is when you actively or passively take steps to prevent yourself from reaching your goals. Sure. This behavior can affect nearly every aspect of your life, be it a relationship, a career goal, or a personal goal, such as weight loss. Although very common, it is an incredibly frustrating cycle of behavior that lowers your self-confidence and leaves you feeling stuck. There are many reasons why someone may choose self-sabotaging behavior, but many stem from lack of belief in oneself.
Yep.
Do you agree?
You don't think you deserve it. I think a lot of people don't think they deserve good things. And when it's looking like it's going to be a good thing, you find a reason why it's not going to be a good thing. relationships.
I was
You
gonna
find
say
a
that.
man that checks all them boxes, Keisha, and then you ask him all these questions as to why it seems so good. Like, damn it, you asked for this, didn't you? It's handed to you. Why are you asking so many questions?
It's true.
Tell
It's
us.
so true.
And it's been all
Call me out. I don't know what to say now.
It could be relationship, it could be business, it could be school. All these things we self-sabotage. I want to go to school, and then you'll be like, and then you don't do the financial aid paperwork, and then you say, I didn't go to school because I couldn't afford it. You literally self-sabotage the situation. I want to lose weight, and then you go to your favorite place trying to order a salad, knowing that you're gonna get your favorite fruit. Why not? Why did you go there? You self-sabotage. Like, we don't even think about the things that we're doing, that we are actually the facilitator of our own self-sabotage. I ain't gonna deal with him no more. I'm not gonna call him no more. I know he's no good for me. And then you go to his barbershop. Like, you are self-sabotaging yourself. Do not set, we literally set ourselves up for the things we say we do not want, for the things that we say we don't want to be in our lives, even for the things that we say we're going to do. You can self-sabotage yourself. And sometimes you know you're doing it, and sometimes you don't know you're doing it. It could be repeating a cycle. You know what they say, what is it? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yep. That's it.
I want to mention something. So I was reading psychology today, and they mentioned that not only like procrastination is self-sabotage, but also self-medication. So you have people that, take drugs and alcohol, they self-medicate in order to self-sabotage. Comfort eating. Who love to eat in here? I know there are people like, oh, let me get that ice cream.
I love it.
Comfort eating, and forms of self-injury. And then another thing that I feel like we touched on, but we didn't say explicitly, is that negative self-talk. So you're saying negative things about yourself. And I know that I have to stop myself from doing that, because sometimes I don't feel worthy. Sometimes I don't feel that I am enough, right? Yeah, I know I'm all about I am enough, and that's my apparel line. But the reason why I created that apparel line is as a reminder to me, because my whole life I struggled with not feeling like I was enough for certain people or for the world. So, I have to constantly say those positive affirmations for myself, because if not, I am going to self-sabotage. Like, I feel that I wouldn't even be on here with you ladies if I didn't have those positive affirmations, if I didn't have that support system, because sometimes I am like, I don't feel like I'm good enough to be here. Like, what am I doing here? Like, and sometimes I say that to myself, like, I don't know if I'm contributing as much as the other ladies, or, maybe I need to do more. Like, am I doing my part? Like, and I really feel that way sometimes. And I'm like, no, it's okay. You deserve this. Like, you deserve to be there. And something that my man be telling me.
Hey, my man.
He says, and it's funny, he said this to me at the B1 ball. He says, destiny doesn't ask for permission. You deserve everything that you have right now. And
say it again. Say it again for the people in the back.
He says, destiny doesn't ask for permission. You deserve everything that you have right now. And that, it like grounds me, like, oh yeah, like, you're right. Thank you.
I love that. That goes along with a quote. I think I said it on one of our episodes where it says the sun doesn't apologize for shining, and neither should you. It's like, we have to be our best self. And when being your best self starts to lead you down a path that's delivering what you wanted, you have to keep going down that road and break free from the chains of anything that told us that you don't deserve it, or you're not worthy, or whatever it is. It's like, I love that. I love it. I mean, it's so true. Like, I see a lot of people in the comments, chiming in on what their thing is. That's their self-sabotage, putting people ahead of yourself. And you keep lifting them up, and you can't reach your own goals because you're too busy, or you gave away all your money, or you gave away all your time. It's like, it's hard to put yourself first. Here's one thing. I read something, and it said, whatever is happening to you right now is your fault. And I start listing all these things, right? And I'm thinking about, so my immediate thought is, what about abuse? Like I'm always about abuse, right? So if you're being abused, that's not your fault. But if you're staying in an abusive relationship, that may be your fault. Like I'm not putting blame, victim blaming here. Or something bad happened to you as a child, that wasn't your fault. But if you are holding on to that and dwelling on it as an adult and you've moved past, you're not let yourself move past it, then that is our fault. So we really just have to learn to break free from things and break free from people that may not be good for us so that we can grow and flourish and really be who we need to be. And those who need to be around, they will be around when
That's
you
right.
be on yourself, when you have your metamorphosis, when you that butterfly, they'll still be there. But some people won't, because they're going to be like, you changed. And you're going to be like,
I'm supposed to.
Yeah, you're supposed to. That's my favorite. Little the caterpillar and the butterfly. Have you seen that? I love it. I'm like, we're supposed to.
And ladies, we live in a society that does condemn people for being selfish. So selfish has this negative connotation that, oh, you're not supposed to be selfish. You're supposed to be selfless and put others before you. And that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. Like you have to be selfish first. The selfishness has to come first because you have to be good in order to be good for other people. So be selfish, as long as you're not being selfish and you're harming other people, right? Like you want to be selfish in a way that you are taking care of yourself. And then if you are constantly pouring into yourself, you're able to give to others. You can't give from an empty cup, right? So you can't pour from an empty cup. You just can't. So you need to do things to pour into yourself. And this is what I learned when I first started coaching, because I experienced burnout a lot where, well, not a lot, but a couple times. And I didn't realize that's what it was. So I was on the team, no sleep, and like, yeah, look at me, I'm an entrepreneur. And then I burnt out, and then there was nobody there to run my business. So like we have to put ourselves first. Like we can't put our business before ourselves. We can't put, other things before ourselves. We have to make sure we're pouring into ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and on every aspect. We need to make sure we're pouring into ourselves.
That's it.
So Cal Hewitt asks, what steps do you take to make that move? Because all my life I've been praying, doing for my family. So I'm assuming you're talking about putting yourself first. Let me know if that's what you're referring to. What steps do you take to make that move? Because all my life I've been praying. I've been praying, doing for my family. What do you guys say for that?
She said yes. I mean, I definitely think you have to. I'm all about action plans and writing down what you want. What do you want? Start with that. And then once you figure out what you want, figure out how you're going to get that thing and if it's attainable. And then once you've just done like the rough sketch of that thing, then you figure out, is this a direction I'm going to start going? Then you move there. It's like losing weight, right? Or getting healthy or whatever the thing is. If you're in the household with people who aren't on your same page, well, not children, but like adults, and they're kind of being combative about it, you really have to like separate yourself from that situation, because you can't bring in that bad stuff. You have to develop good habits. You have to get out, get active, or whatever it is. And you can't be around people who are trying to stop you from doing that. So that's a whole nother situation, right? But you have to start making your steps independent of anyone else. And you have to be willing to do it independent of the people you're normally around. Because I'm going to tell you what, one thing business has taught me is your tribe may not be your family. Like for some people, it's the people closest to you now. But for others, it's perfect strangers that are going to give you your most encouragement, buy all your stuff, encourage you the most. So you have to find your tribe and find those people that are going to help you be your best. I'm not saying you got to cut off those people that aren't, but life will tell you what to do with that, right? But you got to move forward. Make your action plan, then start to implement it.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Stick to them. Once you make that action plan, like Teddy said, create your boundaries around that plan and stick to it.
Yeah.
Because we will let other people push us past our boundaries. We'll set these boundaries. We'll make this plan, and somebody will come in and we'll be like, oh, okay, no, ma'am. No, sir. This is what I have going on. And unfortunately, I won't be able to do that for you. You know
Mhm.
what? My answer is going to have to be no. No is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain why.
Right.
Like you have to, creating the plan is great, but if you don't actually respect the plan that you create and respect the boundaries that you create for your plan, you will find yourself being miserable, unhappy, and self-sabotaging. So big ups yourself, empower yourself to say
Mhm.
no, empower yourself to stand up for yourself and to create that plan and then respect it.
I forgot one important thing. It has to be time based.
Ooh,
You
that's
need
a
to
good
give
one.
yourself goals and you got to set a time. This week, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. By the
Yep.
end of this month, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Like you have to do that. So if you don't set a time, when are you going to start? How are you going to stay on it if you don't give yourself time based goals? So that's
Mhm.
one important feature of that.
I love talking with Teddy because Teddy literally just gave you guys strategy. So the difference between a plan and a strategy, she literally just told
Mhm.
you guys the difference. A plan
Yeah.
is your to-do list. A strategy has a date and a time attached to it. She
Yep.
just gave y'all free game and knowledge.
That's why we're here.
Strategy. So let me reset the room real quick. This is the Melanated Air Hour. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 2:00 p.m. Eastern. You can find us on all social media platforms at Melanated Air. So you can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and of course you can follow us on YouTube. You can also follow each one of us individually. You see everybody's handle. I am Lene Javette. That's my handle. It's so weird to introduce myself that way. That's also my handle. You can find Teddy Ewing at The Real Teddy Talks. You can find Keisha Valvanel at We Inspire Brand. Today, we are talking about ways that people self-sabotage themselves. Constant procrastination is one of those. Ignoring signs that you need to take a break. Creating self-imposed rules that are too hard for you to follow. Overcomplicating solutions to small problems. Starting more projects than you can finish. Not allowing yourself things unless you earn them. Discouraging yourself before you even try. Postponing things until the very last second. Quitting when you run into an issue, or saying yes when you really don't want to do something. I will tell you guys that people make changes for one of two reasons. There's only two reasons why people change. One of those is pain, and the other one is pleasure.
Mm.
Those are the only two reasons why you will make a change in your life. Either something hurts you so bad that you have to get out of the situation, your job, your relationship, you're overweight, you're sick, there's some type of pain attached to it, or you have a desire for a pleasure that you've never experienced and you're like, I'm done, I'm tired, this is what I want to do. I don't want to have to fall all the way off to get what I want. And you go after what you want based on pleasure, success, money, whatever the case might be. If you're not hurting enough, or you're not motivated enough for that pleasure, you live in this place called content.
Mhm.
I'm cool right here.
Yeah.
I want to lose weight, but I don't want to work that hard.
Yeah.
It's not hurting me. I'm not sick. And so we operate in this I'm cool where I'm at space because we're not hurting enough, but we're also not motivated enough to find pleasure. So you have to make some choices and decisions. Do you want to fall all the way off into pain and get to a place where something is hurting you? Whether again, relationship, career, doesn't matter, finances, credit, doesn't matter what it is. Or do you want to take the bull by the horn and say, you know what, I can do this better. I can have better. My life is cool where I'm at, but I know if I didn't procrastinate, I could live better. My
Mhm.
life is cool where I'm at, but I know if I took more breaks, my sense of peace, my mental health, my mental clarity, it would be better if I gave myself those breaks that I deserve. I'm cool right here, but I do overcomplicate small things. I need to be better about making quicker choices and decisions and making them faster because I could live a better life. I'm cool right here, but if I actually allow myself to have those things that I actually wanted, I might be more motivated and I don't have to earn those things. Like you have to decide pain or pleasure. Those are the two things, two causes two factors that people change for because they live in content, or you get to make a choice and decision and say, you know what, I don't want to experience pain. I'm cool where I'm at, but I know that there's a better life. I know that there's better. I know that there's better, and I want that better. And I'm going to do what it takes to get that better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and for those of you who are suffering from procrastination, so that's my main thing, procrastination. Here are some solutions. So you can find something that you love doing. A lot of the time, or sometimes we don't love what we're doing, so that's why we procrastinate. We're not motivated to do it. If you do love what you're doing, find an accountability partner, find a team, right? So for me, like I love my business. I love having my business and working on my business, but there are certain things in my business that I don't want to do. So now I hired people to do it. And now I don't have to procrastinate on editing a video or posting on social media because now I hire people to do that so that my business can continue to grow. And tackle things in bite-sized pieces. A lot of people feel that they have to tackle everything at once, and you don't. Take it day by day, piece by piece, and that is going to help you to get to the bigger goal. So as Lene said and Teddy said, you have the plan, you have the strategy. You can't, the plan and the strategy is never going to tell you to do everything at one time. Like it's just not going to. So make sure you are, like I said, doing things in bite-sized pieces, and that will also help you with procrastination. When I make my list, my to-do list, and I have my plan and my strategy set in place, for me, I know I cannot have 20 things on my list a day because it's going to freak me out. And just the type of person I am, I'm going to get anxiety, and I'm going to end up not doing it. So I have maybe 5 to 10 things to do on my list per day, and that helps me with the procrastination.
That's it. One of my favorite phrases is, "How do you eat an elephant? One
One
bite."
bite at a time.
Yep. And that's everything. It's like, how are you going to tackle it? Like, people do amazing. We are amazing. We human beings are amazing, and we can accomplish almost anything. So just tackle it, hit it, and start. And another thing I've learned more recently, I've always known it, but I always like to remind myself, is words matter. Mm-hmm. I saw someone that said that he said his grandmother never would say she was sick. She would always say she's healing. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting over a cold myself. I was worried I had COVID, y'all, but it was just a bad cold. And the whole time I'm like, I'm healing. I'm like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I'm getting better. I'm healing. And it's just a mental switch when you say I'm healing versus I feel like crap. You know what I mean? Like I'm achy, but I'm on the mend because I feel better. And it's like I'm always propelling forward when you say I'm healing, but when you're sick, you're just stuck in a slump, like you're in this place, right? But healing is a progressive movement. I always want to be in perpetual forward motion, even if I'm falling on my face. I want to keep moving forward at all times.
Read The Secret, y'all. I think I said that last week too. Read The Secret. Watch the documentary. It talks all about that self-talk. So if you're saying you're sick, if you're saying these negative things about yourself, then that's what you are manifesting.
That's it.
I think we choke on the strong, and the brothers, this could be for you too. I know there's some brothers in the audience. Sometimes we choke on the strong Black woman syndrome, right? So we have to be strong. We don't want to ask for help. We don't got time to take a break. We got to do it all. Yes, I can do it, because we don't want to tell somebody no, because we don't want to feel like they're judging us or we can't handle it. So, there's this strong Black woman syndrome that we have. And I'm going to raise my hand because I suffer from it. I know it already, but I realized it this week when I had to ask somebody for help. And this person's very close to me, and it shouldn't be a big deal to go and have to ask this person for help. But it made me feel vulnerable. And it made me feel like they were going to judge me as not having it all together and not having all the answers and not being able to carry all the balls that I have in the air. And so when I went to them and have to ask them for help, they were like, I'm so glad that you trusted me enough to bring this to me. And I was like, damn. Like, they were like, yeah, I got you. What do you need? How can I help you? They say yes before I even got all the words out of my mouth. They were just like, I'm just happy that you trusted me enough to come and ask me for help. And I was like, you don't even know what I need yet. They were like, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, yes.
Love that.
And that's good people around you. That's your circle, right? You have to have a circle. I talk about it a lot. We mire ourselves in environments that aren't healthy. They're not conducive to success. They're not conducive to progress because it's familiar. Familiarity will F you up, okay? It will F you up because you have to be around people that are growing you and feeding you, and you feel energetic when you're in the room with them, and conversations are flowing and positivity is flowing. And if you're not in those environments, man, you got to find it. You got to seek that out. I mean, I'm in the military, y'all know. So my circle over the years, over the last quarter of a century, has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. And the people that are left behind, man, they are quality folks, like people I could go to for anything. Like, for anything. And that's who I want in my corner. That's who I want around me, is someone I know I can ask, like when they say at any point in time, I need X, Y, and Z, can you help me? Versus people that are always taking, not giving, people who aren't supporting you. Like, the circle, the people you surround yourself with is so much, it's so important. So important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally my, and I'm jumping the gun a little bit. I'm jumping the gun because I want to talk about what we're not taking with us next year. But before I get to that, I don't really do New Year's resolutions. I don't do the whole new year, new me. I'm me. I need my experiences, but I like to be better every year. Yeah. And so for this new year, the two things that are in my head is it's okay to ask for help. Like, ask for help and live life. Stop drowning in trying to have it all together. Stop drowning in saying yes to everybody. Stop drowning in taking on more clients and not taking a break and having to do everything for everybody. Lene, can you do? Yep. Lene, will you look at? Yep. Wait, can I pick your brain? Okay. And then at the end of the day, being exhausted and not having anything to give to me. So in this new year, I'm like, I am going to put me first. I am going to ask for help, and I am going to live between having a son, being a single mom, writing this dissertation, having clients, launching new products. I'm not doing anything that I want. I'm not going to the gym like I say I want to. I'm not out dating like I say I want to do. I'm not doing half of the things that I say I want to do because I have hair in my mouth. Because I have created this lifestyle that is moved so fast. And I have told myself, I'm about to put the brakes on this shit. Pardon my language, but I'm about to put the brakes on this. I'm meeting with my team later today. These couple of things we were rolling out in the new year, I'm pulling them back. I'm like, and they're watching. They're gonna be like, wait a minute, huh? So I'm slowing down some of the stuff that I'm launching next year. I'm like, it's too much. It's too fast. I put way too much work on myself. I'm not enjoying life. I'm not enjoying being an entrepreneur. I enjoy it because I love what I do, and it's not work, which is why I do so much of it. It's not work. I love to see Black people be successful. I love helping my clients. I love when my clients have six figures. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love what I do, so it doesn't feel like work, but it's tiring. And it's a lot. And I feel, to your point, Teddy, I could do so much more if I was well rested, if I was getting the sleep I was supposed to be getting, if my dissertation was off my plate, if my son was doing good. But I don't, because strong Black woman, I can do it all. It's cool. Just keep putting it on me. It's going to be okay. And it's not cool anymore.
That's right. You know what, Lene? You remind me of something. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Keisha. I'll be short. No. My sister was getting her PhD, and she was working on it for, when you're doing it, like I say, as a side hustle, like when you're doing your PhD in the evenings and all that, it could take you a few years. And she had been doing it for about 3 or 4 years, and it was just like stressing her out. And then she'd get this new person that has to look over her dissertation or whatever. I don't know this. I'm not PhD material. And finally one day I asked her, I'm like, I know, because she was just so holding on to it, like with both fists. And I was like, don't be offended. But I said, why do you want a PhD? I'm like, is your dream to teach at some university? And she's like, she thought about it, and she kind of came back at me like that reactive, like, what do you mean? What? So I was calm, and I let it go, and I just let it sit there. We finished our conversation, and I don't remember how many days later, she's like, I've been thinking about what you said. And I asked myself the same question. She ended up stopping. So she had put all that time. I told her, I was like, no one is judging you. You've paid this money, obviously. I know it's probably a lot of money. I don't know exactly how much. You've been doing this for 3 or 4 years. Got it. You put all this time. That doesn't mean you have to keep going. Like, if you're going down the wrong road, turn your black ass around and go the opposite direction. Like, you are in a safe space. You know, it's like, don't put that on yourself. One of them, creating self-imposed rules. Why do you want to be Dr. So-and-so? Like, if you want to teach at this university and they require a PhD, great. But if that's not your goal, why the hell are you doing that? Just to hit some mark? Like, don't do it. So I'll never be afraid to turn your ass around.
You have to know your why. And I think that that's for anything. And I will honestly tell you, girl, I have asked I've had one major breakdown where I was at my desk and just in tears, like, I can't do this. This is too hard. It's too much. I don't want to do this anymore. And my Holy Spirit was like, well, then don't do it. And I was like, no, I got to do it. I said I was going to do it. I want to finish it. But more importantly, when I was 12, I wanted to be a doctor. When I was 12, I wanted to be a doctor. And then I've kind of told the story a little bit. And then I realized I don't like blood. So I was like, that's not going to work. And so I was like, okay, I was going to deliver babies. And then I was like, well, I don't like kids either. So then I was like, I'll be a general practitioner. And so that was what I was going to do. And then I flunked out of 9th grade. And then I was like, oh, I guess I'm not going to college. So there goes that dream. So I just let being a doctor go. Became a stripper. You know what I'm saying? Like, life just went, it just fell off. And then miraculously, or destiny, if we're sticking with destiny, things just start picking back up. I finally finished my bachelor's degree. I got my MBA, and then I was presented with the opportunity to get my doctorate. And I was like, all right, cool. And then it was just, when I was writing my book, I was overwhelmed with, oh my God, prophecy fulfilled. When I was 12, I wanted to be a doctor. I didn't know what kind of doctor I was going to be. And it's so crazy that this is the type of doctor that I'm going to be, fulfilling my 12-year-old dream. And what I study is performance psychology, which is basically what I do as a business strategist. But I get to do it for Black people. So I could teach people and coach people on how to be a high performer all day, but I wanted to know what the science is. What is the science, the mental switch behind somebody being a high performer, being able to perform at a high level? And so what I study is psychological capital as a predictor of entrepreneur success for African-American entrepreneurs. So I will literally be able to help Black women, men, and children switch to their psychological capital or take it to a high level to be high performers. What I study is malleable, which means you can develop it, which means we can go into neighborhoods with children who do not have psychological capital and teach them how to be a person of high capital psychologically to perform at a high level. So I love my study. I love what I'm doing. I love that I get to do it for Black people. I get to do it for entrepreneurs. I love it. The work is hard. Right? But I feel like I cheated myself out of my bachelor's degree. It felt too easy. I feel like I cheated myself out of my MBA. It felt too easy. I'm earning this PhD. I would tell you that. And that's what I wanted. I wanted something that I felt like I earned it. Oh my God. Not allowing myself things to be unless I can earn it. I have 2 degrees that I didn't feel like I earned. So I felt like I had to get another one. I'm all of these. I'm all of these.
So many of them.
You know, I was thinking when you were talking, Lene, earlier about goals, right? And I feel that sometimes we're so focused on that goal that's going to allow us the life that we want that we forget to live right now. So, for example, I've been saying, like, I know that you're building for your family, but don't forget about your family while you're in the process of building. Because all too often we're like, yeah, I have to hit this goal so that I could be good for my family and I can provide for my family. But while you have that time right now to spend with your family, you're not doing it. So you can, and not just family, right? So we were also talking about being selfish, taking that time for yourself. You can literally schedule time into your day to say, okay, even if it's 10 minutes, I'm going to meditate, or I'm just going to relax and not do anything. Even if it's 30 minutes and you have a favorite show that comes on Tuesdays, watch that show for 30 minutes, take a break. If it's 45 minutes that you get to spend helping your child with their homework, do it. You know, all of these things are going to contribute to you filling yourself up. So make sure while you're in the process of building, while you're in the process of getting to that goal, you are not forgetting about those other important things in your life.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Because, life waits for no one. Time waits for no one. The next second is not promised. I'm sure we all have experienced life. We've all experienced loss. And you're like, man, wow, I just talked to that person yesterday or last week. Like, it happens. So you have to take that time out to enjoy, to live in the moment. And I was telling my husband just earlier, I think today I said, anytime you say coulda, shoulda, woulda, you're either living in the past or you're living in the future. You are not living in the moment. And you have to live in the moment. Learn from your mistakes, plan for the future, live in the moment. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I love y'all in these comments over here. It looks like y'all enjoying yourselves.
Somebody said, that sounds great as a career. Wow. Helping out people mentally switch to higher knowledge to produce more in life, etc. I salute you, queens. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sogo Sphere, prayer hands, and Cal. Hey, Cal, you are beautiful, sweetheart. You are beautiful. Terry Wood says, I'm recovering from a stroke from the stress and issues of others. It is real.
It is real. It is.
Harry.
Somebody asked, Nicole Bain says, sister, what's your signs? All of us? I'm a Virgo. You probably can tell that just based on the conversation that we're having.
I'm Aquarius, water sign.
I am a Cancer.
All right.
Yes. Okay. So let's see what else. Beautiful. No. You never live in the moment. You always prepare for the future.
No, bull man. No, like you have to live in the moment. You have to prepare for the future. But if you're always looking forward, then you're not enjoying the moments. Like life is lived in the moment. Your kids, your family, your loved ones, that's the moment things. Look, I told my husband yesterday, I said, if God forbid anything ever happened to you, I think I would think I don't kiss you enough. So I just forgot, and I'm sick, so I couldn't kiss him, right? But I'm like, it's just the little things like, I want to trace his face and my kids. I just want to remember their little faces because they're going to get older. Their face changes. Like those are the moments that are, when you're on your deathbed, you're thinking about those things, kissing. And holding and hugging. You ain't thinking about how much money you made. You're not thinking about that degree you got, even though it was important at the time. The connections, those are the most important.
And the thing is, you don't even know if the future is going to happen. So you can't live in the future. Like you could, God forbid, die right now. I don't want that to happen to anyone. But if you're always thinking, oh, the future, if you're living in the future, you probably have some anxiety. And I get that from, I didn't make that up, but they said like, if you're living in the future, you probably have anxiety. If you're living in the past, you probably have depression. So like, live in the moment. It doesn't mean that you don't prepare for the future. You do prepare for the future, right? That's why we have plans. That's why we have goals. That's why we have strategy. However, don't forget the moment. Don't forget the present. The present, not the president, not the president, the present. The present is the most beautiful thing, and you don't know if you're going to get tomorrow.
Yeah.
You want, and so you want to do both. You want to be able to do both. You don't want to live in the past only. You don't want to live in the future only. You don't want to live in the present only, right? So it's a delicate dance of being present so that you can be grateful for what you have. So you can be grateful for where you are. So you can be grateful for where you're not. So you can be grateful for how far you've come. So you want to take in all these moments and be present and appreciate them as you work towards your future. So you want to think about the future. You want to have vision. You want to know where you're going, but you don't want to negate where you are right now, trying to get to where you want to be, because then you'll start downplaying, dissing, being disrespectful to what you currently have. And I'm talking to you from experience. Sometimes I'm looking at with where I am in my career, my business, and my life right now. Sometimes I feel like I'm looking at myself on the pedestal. I can see who I want to be. I can see who people think I am. I can see what my work puts out to people. And I'm always trying to be that person. Like I feel like I have an out-of-body experience often where I'm like, I'm trying to be who people think I am because I don't personally think I'm there yet. And so the struggle is always trying to be the persona when really the reality is I am that person physically in the flesh, but due to self-sabotaging, I want more. And so it makes you not appreciate where you are today. If I were to live in my moment right now and appreciate where I am today, I am her. I am already who I say I am. I'm already doing what I want to do. I'm already living in my zone of genius. But because sometimes, a lot of times, I'm so focused on this is who I say I want to be. This is what I say I want to have, that I take away from who I am and where I'm at today. I don't take the breaks I'm supposed to take. I work harder. I take on more work. I try to do everything because I'm not being grateful in this moment at this present time. And that's why it's important that we appreciate who we are today. Because if you die before you reach that person, you didn't live life.
Yeah.
You didn't enjoy it. You
enjoy it.
Pieces. You didn't smell the roses. So you
Mhm.
have to appreciate and love and be accountable and feel good about who you are today and how far you've come, and keep striving for the future. But today is important. This moment matters. Being present, it matters.
Mhm.
And how many of you are in this moment standing where you prayed you would be 5, 10, 15,
Exactly.
20 years ago, and you're still wanting more? You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like you have to enjoy those wins. Like if you were somewhere that you prayed to have a house, or you prayed to have this kind of job, or you prayed to have a certain mate, or whatever it is,
Mhm.
and you have that, like you have to kind of cherish that moment and clap for yourself and then go forward. You know what I mean? But enjoy it. Enjoy those moments. Now, Lene, you mentioned a challenge that we're all supposed to be given with the new year. What
Yes.
we're not taking with us
Yes.
into the new year.
So this is for the ladies of the panel, but this is for all of you guys out there that are listening, watching with us. What are you leaving in 2021? What is it that you're not taking with you into 2022? It could be an individual person. It could be a thought. It could be a career. It could be a dream. It could be something from the past. It could be trauma. But what do you want to leave behind you and not take with you? That song, whatever I teach about burden, I always refer to Bag Lady by Erykah Badu.
Mm.
Bag Lady, you gonna miss your bus carrying too much stuff. And she's talking about all that shit we keep in our bag that we carry
Yeah.
with us from
Mhm.
situation to situation, year to year, person to person, relationship to relationship. Like there's some stuff that you are carrying with you that you need to take out of your bag and be like, this no longer suits me. I'm not
Mhm.
taking this with me. I'm not taking a negative self-talk. I'm not taking judgment of myself or others. I'm not taking fear. I'm not taking low self-esteem. Like what is and everybody's stuff in their bag is different. But what is it that you would commit to not take with you into 2022? You guys can tell us in the comments, but I'm gonna let the ladies right here tell me us live.
Keisha, go ahead.
I'm thinking. I think for me, Tay's like, go ahead, Keisha. Say it first.
Who first?
For me, so I'm going to not quote Faye because I feel like I'm gonna butcher it. But Faye, she always talks about like you have to not go off of your feelings, right? Like when it comes to like business and building and stuff. And sometimes I'm in my feelings. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing that. Okay, I'm not going to do it because I don't feel like doing it. And it's okay. And it's just like, no, it's not okay. So I feel like I have to leave my feelings when it comes to my business and understand that balance too, right? Because I don't want to burn out. But if I just don't feel like doing something because I just want to like, because I'm just being lazy, then that's different than I don't want to do something because, or I'm not doing something because I need a break. So I am leaving those feelings in 2021 and I'm being on my CEO boss girl ish and doing what I need to do regardless of my feelings.
Good. Your feelings will turn on you. So
Yes.
They will. I
Yes.
start saying feelings. I call them entanglements. It's always an entanglement. Even if you're entangled with yourself, you are entangled in some stuff that ain't gonna get you where you're trying to go, for sure.
Mhm.
Mine, I think I'm in that transition point. Y'all know I'm changing careers. I am retiring from the military after almost 25 years. So in the new year, I am leaving my career behind. Now I'm taking all the experience. I'm taking all of the education, all of the accolades, all of that thing that's going to help me grow in the future. But being in the military has been like such a mind fuck. Like, I hate to say that word, but it's been like a mind fuck. And it's been restrictive in a lot of ways, So from 17 till now, I've been in the military. So I'm looking forward to being Teddy, like civilian, like wear my hair how I want, color it, whatever polish I want to wear on my nails, like just being the most bold Teddy that I can be is what I'm going to be in the new year. So I'm leaving that old self, and it's not a bad self. Like, this is who I've become, right? So it's all got me to where I am, but I'm leaving that ish in the past, like for real. And I'm going to move forward and be new and be better and be great.
Yes, congrats, Teddy.
Thank you, Shirley. I'm excited, y'all. Y'all gonna hear the whole next year. I'm gonna be dancing. I'm excited about. I'm like, y'all just don't know.
Teddy gonna show up with red hair one day. We're gonna be like, oh my god.
Y'all gonna see wild Teddy
doing what I do. I am not taking anything that does not suit me well into the new year. I'm leaving all negative self-talk, anything that causes me to play small, anything that makes me judge myself or feel any type of a way about myself. I'm leaving it behind. In 2022, I'm doing whatever the hell I feel like. And everybody be damn. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about my past experiences. If I want to go to the gym, I'm going to go. If I don't, I'm not going to kill myself about it. I'm going to start wearing dresses because I have not worn a dress in years because I've been like feeling some kind of way about my weight. I'm about to explode in pure authenticity in 2022 and beyond.
I love it.
And if I need help, I'm going to ask for it. I'm going to live. I'm going to travel. I'm going to come and go. If I feel like putting it on social media, I will. If I don't, I'm going to keep it private. Like, I'm just going to live unapologetically as myself, and be okay with it. No. And be more than okay with it and be happy.
Be happy with it.
And be not be okay. I've been living okay. I want to be happy and at peace and authentic. And that's what I'm taking with me into 2022. And anything that doesn't serve that purpose is what's being left behind.
There you go.
Yes. Love it.
Yes. Okay, so let's go.
Entanglement be damned.
Entanglement be damned. I'm about to go to y'all's comments here. Let's see what y'all got over here. Nicole says, your circle had a warm-hearted circle full of love and kindness. Thank you. So, oh wait, Nicole said, you are the sweetest circle ever. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Cal says, I want to leave pleasing people, saying yes to everyone. Man, leave those folks because they are not going to help you grow. They're going to have you out looking crazy. Girl, does this dress look cute? Yep. Lies. It doesn't look cute. You need a girlfriend that's like, come back in here.
Yeah. When I said it, she said, no is a full sentence. It is a full sentence.
Yep.
No, period. Don't even qualify it. No.
So I know why he called himself Boo Man now. He is booing on everything. Not going to take people who hold themselves high over their community. I mean, that's actually a good one. I feel like we, especially in the Black community, we are all leaders. We don't need a leader because we are all leaders. Yeah. So nobody should hold themselves high over the community. But everybody should be working in the community. So we're all leaders. We should all be leading.
Everyone should be doing their part.
Yes. Heavenly Nettles Brown says, I want to leave being disrespected and being naive behind. Yes. Yeah. Definitely don't let anybody disrespect you. And naivety is a delicate thing. Because a lot of people, sometimes people tell me that I'm naive. They tell me that I'm naive to have so much faith in the Black community and Black people and Black men. They tell me that I'm naive and I'm too good-hearted because I only work with Black people. So be cognitive about the things that you're naive about, because what somebody else calls naive might just be your heart for a particular thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to leave. Okay, we already did that one. My T Living says definitely leaving behind people who don't support and value my time and presence in 2022.
Yes.
Come on now.
Yes. Free yourself.
Nye Smith says, I'm not taking with me that I'm not good enough to accomplish my goals. Tell her where she can get her shirt at, Keisha.
I am enough. You get your shirt at www.weinspiretees. That is tees.com. You are good enough.
Yes, you can go get your shirt. Cop your shirt. Anita Fowler says, good stuff, ladies. At the age of 66, I have been shedding a lot of material items for my life. Just don't need a lot of stuff. Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
Sharice says, congratulations, Teddy.
Thank you, Sharice. Thank you.
Cal says,
I plan to take y'all on my journey with me.
Yes.
Let's see. We got a Sisters Teach. We got an amen.
Amen.
Love it. Awesome. You can do it, Queen. Let's see. Adrian says, that's right. Embrace who you are and go where you are celebrated.
Yes.
Congratulations, Lene. Thank you, Crystal. Shiloh says, I like the sound of that pure authenticity. Yes. Gloria said, amen, Keisha.
Amen.
Amen, you're a boo girl. You got a man.
I'm leaving behind dating in 2020.
There you go.
I'm leaving behind singleness in 2021. 2022 is gonna bring me a man. Y'all gonna see. Watch. Y'all heard it here first. Y'all gonna be like, she said,
and I'm helping.
Yeah, she's shopping for me too. She out on the look. Just call me Aunt. I am not taking unfulfilled purpose and goals into 2022. Come on now. Monique says, I want to leave behind my fatalistic thinking. Yes, sis. Christina says, I want to leave procrastination, fear, and giving so much of myself to others to the point of depleting me. Yes, leave that behind, sis. That's not going to take you nowhere. Terry Woods, yes, me too. It's my heart that people have taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Nicole says, the Most High will protect you. Okay. Carla says, do y'all not to tell me something? Do y'all need to tell me something? Jesus, I'm not sure. Asha says, congratulations, Teddy. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Asha.
Adrian says, speak that man into existence. Cal said, love y'all, really inspiring. Thanks to all of you. You are so welcome.
You're welcome.
Let me see what Boo Man talking about. He says it's not naive, but the social constructs are so to where our people have been created in modern day society. Study B.F. Skinner. Oh, I love Skinner and Pavlov. Oh, I love him too. Those are both really good ones. Yes. Nicole says, get out and use that passport.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Ooh, such a good show today. Such a good show today. I love it. I love having these conversations in our community. I love that this space is open and free to have these types of conversations in this type of a world that we live in, where there's a lot of propaganda that's being pushed to the world. But, I'm really talking about Black people. So a lot of propaganda that's pushed to us. We also have to have these conversations that allow us to be free and to feel like we're not the only person. Am I the only person who's having doubt? Am I the only person who's feeling a certain kind of way or that's sabotaging? Am I like, you're not.
No.
You're not.
Right.
And that's why I'm so glad you get like 5 of us on here at any given time that can tell you that, we're all from different places, different spaces, different career fields, different educational backgrounds, different businesses. And we want to be that like microcosm of normalcy. And, ask these questions, and we don't always agree and we don't always think the same, So it's good that we bring that to you so you don't feel alone. Like we want to be your little safe space.
Yes.
You can have these conversations and we're going to keep it real. That's all we want to do is keep it real.
And it's okay not to agree. It's okay not to agree. We are not a monolithic group of women. We are not a monolithic group of people. We're not a monolithic community. It's okay to disagree. We don't have to think the same way. Teddy doesn't have to think what I think or feel how I feel. Neither does Keisha.
Right.
Like Teddy said, we've had different walks of life. We've experienced different things. The thing, and the thing is not that we don't have to agree. We also don't have to talk the other person into seeing it our way. Like it's okay that you disagree, and you don't have to see my point of view. What we do have to do is be respectful of each other's opinion, because sometimes something will be said that will cause you to think about something differently.
Yeah.
And in our background chat, we'll be like, you know what? I thought about what you said, and that makes sense. Or you know what I'm saying? But we have to be open, because if we just walk around like my way or the highway or what I know is right, and we don't even open our ear to hear somebody else's perspective, that's when our community falls.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, we just have to. We don't have to agree, but we do have to be respectful and at least listen, take it into consideration.
Yeah.
And not
that's how you learn and grow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And not just try to shut each other down or step away from because we don't have the same opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any final thoughts before we close out today's session, ladies?
I did want to say me and Keisha did an interview. So check me out on Teddy Ewing at YouTube tomorrow. I'm going to post it at 7 a.m. Eastern, but of course you can catch it anytime, where Miss Keisha Ravenel tells us about I Am Enough, where her inspiration was, and where her brand and business is going. So if you want to get that inside peek, check out Teddy Ewing at YouTube. I'll actually put it on the Melanated Air as well. So I'll put it on there, our Melanated Air on YouTube as well. And there'll be clips on flynubianqueen.com as well. So you'll get us all over the place. So check that out.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say a final thought about self-sabotage. Another thing about self-sabotage is you feel that things are supposed to go your way. And when things don't go your way, you quit. So I just want the listeners, the viewers, to remember, like, it is okay when things don't go your way, especially in business, relationships, whatever it is. But always remember that purpose. Always remember that foundation. And when you have that to remember, you are going to be able to push forward. So one thing that I always tell my clients, and I know I always say this on the show, but I always tell my clients, like, you have to start with your purpose. And I had a client tell me, like, hey, I started with my purpose and I was about to quit, but I remember what you said. And I remembered why I started the t-shirt business in the first place. And that's what's going to keep me going and keep me moving. So when you have that negative self-talk, when you have that self-doubt, always remember your purpose. In a relationship, you should be setting foundations in the beginning. So what is the foundation that you have to fall back on when you can't stand your bae? Like, I can't stand you today, but what is that foundation? You can't just up and leave or quit every time something doesn't go your way. So I just want to leave you all with that.
Yeah.
And on that, I don't got anything else to add. That's it. That's what it is. We definitely thank you. We love you. We appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you for catching us live. We appreciate the love and support and the engagement that you guys show to us each week. Again, this is the Melanated Air Hour. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 2:00 p.m. Eastern. Whatever channel you are on, like it and subscribe it. But also go and like and subscribe to the Melanated Air Hour on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, and follow us each individually. You see our handles up here. You can find Teddy at The Real Teddy Talks. You can find Keisha Ravenel at We Inspire Brand. And you can find me. My name is Lene Javette. My handle is at I am Lene Javette. We love you. We support you. We appreciate you being here on today. Go out. Have a great day. Be blessed, be Black, and be one. We'll see you guys next time.